Hey frugal friends, welcome back. So this video is all about the bathroom project, and as most renovation projects go, it ended up having complications. The complication that we started with had to do with the floor. I really wanted this vintage vibe sheet vinyl that would have been so in keeping with the charm and character of this house. Unfortunately, we ended up having some complications as soon as the flooring measurer came. The flooring measurer was just here, took a look for the dimensions for our bathroom for the new floor, and said that there is an old floor underneath this floor, so they can't put another one on top. I started to peel away the second layer of floor, and underneath there's this really interesting old linoleum pattern. So my plan now is, obviously it's original to the house, it's perfectly flush with the hardwood floor in the hallway. The plan is now to strip this, because we have to strip it off for the flooring installers anyway, and then to see what kind of shape it's in before we make a final decision about if we're going to go ahead and put vinyl sheet down. Interesting, wouldn't it be cool if we could salvage the original flooring? I think that would be so cool. Plans changed. We talked to a contractor friend of ours who said that scraping the glue layer off is almost impossible, and my hands could attest to that. So instead what we decided to do was to set the skill saw to the layer of depth of flooring that we were going to tear out, which is basically everything except for the subfloor. Cut it in strips, pried it up. It was a lot of work. So we ended up having to change plans yet again because the communication between us, the store, the measurer, the installer, it was so complicated. The original price I was told would be somewhere around $300 or $400 to have the floor installed, including the cost of the floor. And the quote came back at over twice that, at $850 for a very small bathroom. So we went with plan B, which was to pick out some luxury vinyl flooring and installed it ourselves. After literally 1 minute of scraping, all the loose stuff came down. Most of it on me and a lot of it down my shirt. While I'm working in here, maybe it's time to take the wallpaper glue down. Razor blade scraper and fabric softener. So here's where we're at. It's been a while since we looked at working on the bathroom, but we did put in this fantastic gray vinyl floor. It's a luxury vinyl click product, and it's got a little bit of distressing or subtle pattern in it, and I love it. Except the original design plan I had was to have a teal and green bathroom, more or less, with an off-white floor. I painted the vanity a teal color, which looks fantastic with the countertop. I don't like how it looks with the floor. I think frugal means figuring out where to invest your money, so setting a priority. My priority is not to spend money on retiling the shower. It is not to replace the bathtub, which has nothing wrong with it. And I have no interest in ripping out this vintage vanity. Instead, we took the old vanity, which was flat front, built up with some MDF glued and stapled on here into shaker style doors, replaced the hardware with a vintage chrome inspired look, filled in the empty space with a door that does have a vent in it for a laundry basket of towels underneath there. Super happy with it. Color scheme now. Because the floor is going to stay this gray color and the tub is going to stay green, is now to go with this color scheme. Conifer green as the vanity color, a gray-green color called Biking Trail, which looks a lot lighter and brighter in this light than it does in real life, as the paint color. I found at Bouclair, oh my gosh, Bouclair has redone what they stock, and I love Bouclair's products now. I was able to find a shower curtain, which is the green of the conifer paint color, a gray like the floor, and a white. And I love the stripes. I love kind of that ticking color. And it says it was $45, but it was on sale, so I got it for about 30 or 31. And so I spent a little bit on that. And then how cute is this? A vintage inspired ribbed glass soap dispenser, which is also kind of a vintage green color. And so now this is the new color inspiration for the bathroom. So I'm going to get to scraping and repairing ceilings, and then painting walls and redoing the vanity, and I will keep you posted. Our ceilings are made of plaster. Our house was built in the early 60s. Our last house was built in the 50s, and we had this problem in the kitchen. We ended up having to scrape all the paint off the ceiling, or all the loose paint, and then patch and fix it. I've been told this time to try something a little different. So someone at a hardware store suggested that I try Peel Stop. So first to scrape off all the loose paint, and then instead of using drywall compound as a patch, first to seal the paint so no more humidity or moisture gets behind the paint and forces it off the plaster. So to seal it with this, and then to use the drywall compound to smooth out the ceiling and to prime and paint. Last night I used the Bare Ceiling Primer and Paint in One. And the biggest difference that I noticed is that now it's a matte finish instead of previously it was like a semi-gloss finish. So you can't see as much of the imperfection, but I can still see, let's see if I can zoom in, there we go, some of the imperfections. Now, here's the part where I'm going to try and have a positive attitude. I think it kind of looks like a map. Oh, when I zoom out, you can't see it. It kind of looks like a map with islands and lakes and an ocean. And I'm not hating it. And I don't think people walk into the bathroom and look straight up at the ceiling the whole time. It's not the first thing you notice. It's not totally noticeable unless you crank your head back and stare up. So I'm just going to put another coat of paint and primer on it and move on. This part here kind of reminds me of Ontario. So I think we're going to use it as a highlight and make it a feature, not a flaw. I'm so excited. Yesterday I painted the bathroom walls a gray-green khaki color, and I think that they turned out beautifully, especially with the floor. With the tub, one's a little bit more blue-gray, but with the new shower curtain, I think it'll look fabulous. Excuse the mess. I think I mentioned that we are actually living and using this bathroom as I'm making it over. So today's task is to paint the countertop. Not the countertop, silly me. The cabinets. This beautiful conifer green color, which I'm so excited about. It looks so fantastic with the wall and with the countertop. So that's my plan. Second coat is done. First coat was with a paintbrush to try and get in all the grooves and crevices. Second coat was with a microfiber roller that came as a set from Home Depot, which I'd highly recommend for cabinets. First coat with the brush took probably an hour. Second coat with the microfiber roller, which is really cool because it has a roller end, like it's actually, how do I put this? It actually has, you know, fluffy stuff. There's fluffy stuff on the end. So I probably could have just done the cabinets with that and would have saved a lot of time. Second coat only took like maybe 10 minutes. So I finished grouting the vanity tile, and our grout float was broken, so I ended up using my hands, and I've never had such a lovely manicure. I feel so soft and exfoliated. It's here's my tip. Renovations have their perks. Okay. Now I'm playing with stain colors. I've got 3 different walnuts, dark, special, and antique, and I'm trying to figure out which one to use for the frame of the mirror. And I think I'm going to go with the special walnut, which is my favorite, but the light fixtures are a little bit more dark walnut, so I'll probably add a little bit of that at the end and see how that turns out. And that's going to be for the mirror frames that, thanks to JD, love that guy, he helped me cut out the frame pieces
and got them notched so that they can be installed over top of the existing mirror that was inset in plaster. And I'm also going to make a towel hook station like I had before, but in a matching color. And the surprise is the vanity door. It will also be stained to match, so hopefully it will be a feature. So let's get to staining.
So this is where we're at today. Today it's all about the countertop, and I want to restore it. It's vintage. We don't want to replace it. We kept the vanity. You can tell I've tiled an edge. I've replaced the tile that was there that was really tall because I wanted to put a chunky framer on the mirror. We didn't remove the mirror, we just edged it with a picture frame molding on the back of these boards, which we then stained antique walnut, special walnut, and mounted with our compressor, with our air nailer. Now it's about the countertop. You may have noticed we replaced the sink. The sink was beige, almost a yellowy beige, and this one we found for free on Facebook Marketplace. Somebody gifted it to us. I just have to clean it up. I was just checking to make sure it fits in the existing opening that was there, and it does perfectly. So I'll remove that and clean that up later. I'll have to get rid of some silicone, do a little bit of cleaning work on it, but it's in really good shape. Today I am going to scrape and wash and clean and use car wax products to try to bring the countertop back to life. So there's I will show you exactly what we're going to use. First up, we have the Turtle Wax Polishing Compound, which is a light to medium cleaner. So first I have to wash the countertop with soap and make sure there's no residue from silicone from the previous tile edge or from the sink. And then I will use this, and it will take a very, very fine cloudy layer off the surface of the finish on the countertop. From there, we will be using this ceramic spray coating by Hybrid Solutions to seal and make hopefully a hard, durable finish. I'm going to put the sink back in temporarily, and then later today, Handy Hubby will hook up the plumbing. And our new taps, which were new in a box, normally cost about $150. We got them for $35. I think somebody had bought them and changed their mind. So we're really happy with that find. And hopefully we'll have a working sink tonight. So after I worked on the countertop a few days ago, Handy Hubby installed the sink, siliconed around it, and I siliconed under the tiles, and then that left a residue on the countertop, which I was not very pleased with. So I ended up re-stripping and redoing the whole countertop. And when I was finished, I realized it's not as glossy or as smooth as I wanted it to be. Right now I have a coating on it, which is looking a bit hazy. So that's why it doesn't look glossy right now. But I decided to go to Canadian Tire and buy something called New Finish, which is a type of car polish. The plan is to see if it makes a shinier, smoother finish, and I will keep you posted. I just buffed the rest of the New Finish once a year car polish off. Still not shiny, but it does feel smoother and a little bit shinier perhaps. Now I just checked the ceramic spray instructions and it said it can go on top of a polish coat. So I think I'll try that, and then I'm gonna call it done on the counter. It feels so smooth, and it's definitely got more shine to it. And there's the tiniest bit of the tackiness where the silicone touched, but nothing like it was. Oh, don't silicone without masking tape or painter's tape there. I was unable to find the painter's tape, and that was a mistake doing it without it. Anyway, learn from my mistakes. Just getting ready to caulk around the bathtub. I decided to get a exterior caulking that's gray. Hopefully it'll blend in with the floor for the section where the floor meets the tub. And you'll notice I put masking tape down this time. I don't want a repeat of silicone residue.
So this is the cute little shelf that I just picked up today off Facebook Marketplace for $5. I'd like to hang it over the toilet in the bathroom. My plan was to stain it dark brown to match the frame of the mirror and the light fixtures.